I've just come across this huge piece of petrified wood. Just look at it. It is enormous. Oh. Actually don't know how I'm going to get it back to the car. I don't have my wagon here today, and I'm very far away from the car. Well, I haven't done a big carry in a while, and I do know you guys like seeing me try and carry big heavy rocks around, and this is a big heavy rock. Okay, so let's try and lift it up. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna lift with my legs. Oh. Okay, let's try again. Okay, it's doable. Oh. That is a heavy piece of wood, but I mean, that's a beautiful piece of petrified wood. It's not an entire round, but yeah, it's beautiful. I'm going to try and get it home, even if it takes me all afternoon. At least it's summer, so it's only going to get dark like 9 o'clock tonight. I should be able to get it back before then. That was a lot harder than I thought. I finally got it to the car. I'll try to get some drone footage as well, so yeah, we'll see how that goes, or comes out. But yeah, I've got some biltong ready for the trip home. Need to replenish a bit of this energy I've just used up. But yeah, what a piece of petrified wood that is. That is enormous. That must be like half a meter. I don't know how much it weighs. It was getting it was getting pretty heavy. I think at least like 40 kilograms. Yeah, you can see it's got some damage over here. I think either a car drove over it. You can see there's lots of tire tracks around here. Something definitely hit it over there. Okay, let's get it back home and clean it up. I think it needs a little bit of repair work over here. Some of those bits over there are a bit loose. Well, here it is all cleaned up. Let's get the tape measure and see how big it is. So it looks to be 750 millimeters long, and at the thickest part 180 millimeters. That's a big piece of wood, so like 3/4 of a meter. That is quite large. You can see it's got a bit of damage over there, but yeah, it's not too bad. And I've got a few bits of petrified wood from the same river, just to show you how similar it is. Look at that. Very similar looking. It's even got those same dark patches over there. Here's another piece. It's a little bit lighter, but yeah, once again, it's got those darker patches in it. And here's a piece that I've actually put through the tumbler. Look how beautiful that is. So definitely, it takes a polish. So when I put it into the tumbler, it was also this color, and that must be like an oxidation layer or something. And once that goes away, you get this really dark, rich color. So you might be wondering, well, what tree was this when it was living? And we're quite lucky in that Mathew Vanner, he did his PhD work on petrified wood from the South Island mainly. So he's been through these rivers and he's identified some of them. And I've downloaded his thesis, which you can also do. It's online. So he did it at Otago University. So to identify a tree, you need to have 3 sections of wood, as shown in this diagram. But I'm more of a visual learner, so I need to see things in person to understand it better. So I went and I cut some wood over here to show you, or to show myself, what the 3 cuts of wood are that are needed. Let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, so the first one is quite simple. It's so the tree's growing this way, going up, and you need a cross section so you can see the growth structure. And to be able to identify petrified wood, the petrified wood still needs to show the cell structure, and it can't be compressed, so it can't be squished up, which will change the way the cells look. But you can see this one's got really nice, you can still see the cell structure over there of the wood. I'm not sure what this piece of wood is, but yeah, I found it in the forest and brought it home and cut it. So this is the first one you need, is you need this face where you can see the tree rings, and you would take that down in petrified wood down to 30 microns, a thin section, and then mount it on a microscope slide so you can put the light through and see the cell structure. Then the other one you need is you need a cut right through the middle of the branch there, and then you're going to mount this side so that you can see the other, growth direction of the tree rings. And then you need another one which is not through the middle of the tree. So you see that's the middle of the growth there, and this one is to the side of it. They call it a lateral one, and this will give you a different view of the cell structure. So you're going to mount those 3 views onto a microscope slide in the case of petrified wood. And here we've got some of those views from a piece of wood from that same river that Matthew's done. And you can see this is the wood from the river, and that's comparing it to a modern day eucalyptus tree, I think, if I've understood this diagram correctly. And it's very similar. So chances are this piece of petrified wood, well, there is a chance this piece of petrified wood here could be from a eucalyptus tree. Now, of course, it's not as simple as just taking photos and then identifying it, because you need to identify the characteristics in these photographs. So if you read the caption on this, it says vessels with tylosis, vasicentric tracheids, and vasicentric to confluent axial, and a whole bunch of other big words. So what you need to do is you need to become an expert in wood and be able to identify all these different features what you see under a microscope. So there's some, you can see some of these holes, I assume are called tracheids, or I might be completely wrong, but then you've got the vessels, and you can see in this case you've got vessels going across, which I'm sure will tell you something important about this piece of wood.
But the cool thing is once you've identified the species, you can kind of put together the climate. So when this tree was growing, what was the temperature, what was the rainfall like? Because obviously trees and plants, they prefer certain temperature ranges and also certain rainfall patterns. And by getting the closest living relative, you can put that all together. Hopefully not just with one species or genus, but you would get a whole bunch from the same area. You would say there's a eucalyptus tree, there's some pine trees. By putting them all together, you can get a pretty good idea of the climate from like 10 million years ago. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I carried something big, and this time I had my drone with me, so I put the drone on the follow me mode, which came out, yeah, better than expected. It was good fun learning a bit more about petrified wood. I do like researching a topic like this. I learned so much, but any mistakes in this video, that's down to me. Matthew hasn't been consulted on it or anything. But yeah, go check out his thesis. It's such good reading. Stay safe. I'll see you on the next hunt.